Okay, we're live. We are live both on Instagram and on YouTube. And as you guys are getting logged on, I give you guys a couple minutes to get here. And as always, if you would like to come work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go. We do hair, makeup, suits, and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing. Welcome back. Tonight is another BSPN night where we are going to preview this coming weekend's shows. There are several of them. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think there's one overseas too that I forgot to pull up. Let me see. I'm waiting for you guys to get on. Let me check it real quick. Let's see here. Oops. No, they don't have it on the. Oh, yeah, they do. Right here. Yamamoto. September 11th. There it is. What's up, Christina? So yeah, I just realized there is another pro show. There's 4 pro shows this weekend. There's the Yamamoto Pro show as well. And I did not pull that one up, so I'm doing that right now. I'm waiting for you guys to get on. Hello, what's up, Yoyoy? Here we go. Okay. I was looking at the list. Okay. All right, cool. You did. You finally made it. I know. It's a whole new time zone for you over there now. Okay. So as we're waiting here, as you guys know, Cuties Conquering the Stage tickets are now available for purchase. They are open. So if you are on our email list, you have that in your email box. If you're not, then the link is available in my bio on Instagram, and it's also available in the description box on YouTube here. So either place, you can find it, get in there, get your tickets, and then you are set to go for January. We do have the ladies already getting into the Facebook group now and talking. Some of them are, meeting people that they're going to room with for the weekend, that kind of thing. I'm asking questions about what you want in your swag bags. For those of you that don't know or have never come, we do epic swag bags, like actual bags. Like our bag this year is a travel weekender bag with a food compartment. So it actually looks really professional, black and gold with a little food compartment on the bottom that you can carry your meals with you. That's something you get. We do track suits every year. We do posing suits every year. So you get a bunch of really cool goodies, plus whatever our sponsors decide to put into the bags too. Last year, we had Jacked brownies. So you guys had brownies. We had My Cookie Dealer one year. Everybody always puts in some fun stuff. We core nutrition supplements, give a bunch of stuff each year. Liquid Sunrays gives a bunch of tanning prep, skin prep, all sorts of stuff. Thousands of dollars worth of stuff. We have cosmetic surgeons that come and they give away free Botox and fillers. So yeah, it's a party. It is an epic swag bag. It is the best swag bag you will get at any event or show in this entire league. I promise you that. We go all out. We go all out. All right. So we have several pro shows this coming weekend. There's actually 4. One of them I forgot to pull up, and that was the Yamamoto one, which is in Italy. So I'm going to pull that one up first, and we'll just talk about it briefly because I didn't pull up the pictures and stuff for the ladies. We do have a few names on this list to be paying attention to. So let me pull that up real quick so you can see it. There we go. Okay. So there's Yamamoto right there. Okay. So Yamamoto is actually a pretty decent sized list. It's in Italy, right? It's in Italy. I could be wrong on that. Yeah, in Milan, in Italy. So there's quite a few girls on this list. The ones that are popping out right away, I believe Ottavia Mazza was, I think she was Olympia qualified, if I remember correctly. I forgot about this particular show until I got on live tonight, so I haven't looked up these names. Francesca Stocchio, she hasn't been on stage in a little bit. She is a previous Olympian, so she'd be one that you'd want to be watching. But she hasn't been doing very well in her recent times on stage. And what I mean by very well is that she's ending up at the end of first call out to the beginning of second call out, when typically she's in the 1, 2, 3 spots. So she's been off stage for a little bit. Hopefully she's taken some time to work on whatever her feedback was so she can come back a little bit better. Did anybody else see any names in this list that they recognize? A few of these look familiar to me. I just can't place them. Carrie Sexton, we talked about her at the last show that she got on stage for. We're excited to see her get back up there. But the rest of them, unless I see their photos, I can usually put the names of the photos once I see these European competitors. But I didn't have a chance to do that before I got on live because I forgot about it. Just going to be honest, forgot about the show. So anyway, there's a show in Italy too. So there you go. There's the Italian show that we're going to cover right there. The next one we're going to talk about is Heart of Texas, which is wellness this weekend. And again, this is a show that's relatively small. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, for wellness, it's actually a pretty decent sized show. But looking at the list and the names, there's only a few on here that I expect to see kind of battling it out. And those would be Karen, Amanda, and Frida. All three of them have placed top 3 recently. Karen did beat Frida at the Sin City Showdown, but that could flip very easily. Then Amanda was in 3rd in Texas, where Devin won her Olympia qualification. So I did pull up their pictures. Let me see if I can share that. Hold on. That's a different tab. Let me pull the right tab up first. Hold on. We'll get it. Here we go. Oh, and Renee's on there too. I think Renee Hershey's on there too. Right? Yeah, and Renee Hershey too. So I would expect to see that as your top 4, basically. Let's go ahead and pull these pictures up, though. Okay, so here's Amanda. Amanda took 3rd in Texas. As her pro debut, she just won her pro card, and she took a lot of time to actually a lot of shows to win her pro card. She came very close several times, and she finally won it. Came out placed 3rd. Did very well. I thought she was very comparable. Her conditioning was a little bit off at this show. So if she comes in a little bit better conditioned, then this could very well be a very good placing for her, if not a win. Let me see if I can pull up a good quarter turn here. There's a pretty good quarter turn right there. Show that for you. There we go. So there's Amanda right there. Again, just a little bit soft on the conditioning. Just needs to come in a little bit tighter and should be good to go. I expect to see her in the top 4 at this particular show. Let me find a back shot to show that for you too. She's in motion in most of these. So let me see if I can find one where she's actually posed. Don't see one where she's posed. Oh, that's right. I remember showing these because she does have them where she's posed, but she's got her hair off her back in her posed ones. So I'll show that anyway. There we go. So I personally am not a huge fan of showing your back in wellness because it can end up making you look too balanced, because in wellness, you don't want to be balanced. You want to be imbalanced. And if you start showing a bunch of muscle up on your back, you start looking like a figure competitor. So I'm not a huge fan of showing the back in wellness. I would just leave the hair down the back. That would be my suggestion here, because otherwise it would be a good pose, a good ancillary pose for your individual. Just keep the hair down your back. But yeah, she just needs to be a little bit tighter. And so we'll see how she looks at the show. Next on the list, Renee. So Renee is the one that we talked about for Sin City Showdown, that she's got a really pretty look, but she's almost too balanced and she's too small. She's kind of in between figure and bikini right now. Like when I look at this particular photo of her, I think that she's just a bigger, more muscular bikini competitor. She doesn't look like she's lower body dominant. She looks pretty well balanced right here. One of the critiques I had for her for the last show was I'd go back to the suit that she had for Pittsburgh. I like that suit better. And again, it's a very pretty look, but she just needs to look like she's more lower body dominant than she actually is. Let me see if I can find a good front pose for her. That's at the top of the key. Let me see if she's got any other ones that are down towards the front with the good light. Don't see any with the good light. Well, sort of. She's not real posed here, but close enough. There we go. So she is definitely bigger than a bikini competitor for sure. Like you can see that in her quad sweeps, things like that. But notice that she's kind of hiding her upper body a little here with her hair, which is good. She needs to be doing that in order to look lower body dominant. But she does have an upper body. And where you see that is when she gets into those quarter turns and things like that. So she's just got to do some work on unbalancing her body. Basically, this is the one division where you got to be unbalanced. So that's where she's got to work on that. And I would say by adding some size onto her lower half is what I would do. So we'll see. I would probably put her in 4th for this weekend. I think that I think she will be in the first call up, but I think she's going to be 4th. All right. Next we have Karen. So Karen was one that we talked about at the last show at Sin City Showdown that could potentially be a threat for the title. And she was top 3 here. She was 2nd, actually. Really, really good look for wellness. I really liked her look a lot. Needed a few things. I can't remember. I think it was something with her back pose, I think is what we were talking about with her. Let me see. Yeah, it was her back pose that needed some help. Needed some refinement. Just a little bit unbalanced in the back for wellness, meaning she just need to fix this pose. It makes her look like she's really glute dominant and doesn't have any quads. So if she was to take this pose and just bring her feet in a little bit, that would really help. That would really, really help with this pose back here because she's most definitely has quads. She's just not showing them very well. So I think that would be beneficial for her this coming weekend. But I could definitely see her, in the top 2 winning the show. Yes, minor posing tweaks and she's money. Yeah, she's right on with just a few posing tweaks and she'd be right on. That's right. That's Devin over here on Instagram talking for those of you on YouTube. But yeah, she's got a really pretty look too, like a really beautiful face and great look to her. So yeah, just a few tweaks to her. Let's see who we got next. I thought I pulled up Frida. What did I do? Hold on. I'm going to pull up Frida. It's just going to take me a second. I thought I had her pictures up and I don't actually have them up. So give me 1 second to pull her up because she's one that we're going to talk about too. What did I do? Where's my window? There it is. Goodness gracious. Searching all over the place for these pictures, man. There we go. So, if you remember, I was talking about Frida last time. Frida was a bikini competitor, and she's moved up to wellness now. She was a bikini Olympian. She's now a wellness competitor. She placed 3rd at Sin City Showdown. So I do expect to see her do well here. And this is from Pittsburgh. So let me find her. That's surprising that's what just popped up for me right now. I want to find her pictures from Sin City Showdown. Hang on. We're going to get there. I promise. Just give me a sec. I did have this up. I don't know what to do with it. Let me see. Because she did just compete as well and did much better this time around. Okay, we got her now. Okay, let me get this shared here. Beautiful. Okay. So moving up for Frida was definitely the right call. Again, she was one of those girls that was always trying to keep herself smaller for bikini, and it was hard when you're built to pack on muscle. She's been an athlete her whole life, that kind of thing. So where she needs some improvement is still she needs to grow some more quad sweep here, make herself look a little bit thicker in that quarter turn, all of that. When you turn her to the back, she has a really good back shot. Let me pull this up. And you can most definitely see here that she is wellness from the back. So there we go. Now, she still needs some quads. She's got long legs, so it's going to take her a little bit to continue to build, but she's got a pretty balanced frame from the back. She still needs to grow some more quads and some more hamstring in the back and things like that too. But this is a really nice round full look, which is what they are looking for as well in wellness too. So we'll see how this plays out for her. I still do have her in my top 3. I think it's gonna be very, very tight between the top 3. But she could be the one in the winner circle pretty easily. So I do think that this particular show is going to come down to those top 4 that I mentioned. Let me pull that up again. So I think it's going to come down to Karen, Amanda, Renee, and Frida. I think that's going to be your top 4 right there. If I was a betting woman, I'd put Karen in the winner circle because she is, to me, the most complete competitor so far. And she also did just place second at Sin City Showdown. So she would be the one that would be the front runner for this title. That's what I would say. But it really, I think it's going to be very, very tight between Karen, Amanda, and Frida. If I just was a betting woman, I would say those are going to be your top 3 right there. So that is wellness for Heart of Texas. We're going to go to Linda Murray next. So for this one, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have 15 competitors, which is a decent size show. Agreed. Yeah, agreed. That was Devin over here on Instagram again. She agrees with my predictions. There you go. Miss Wellness Queen herself agrees with me. We're good. So over here at the Linda Murray in Savannah, we got 15 competitors. Again, a decent sized show, especially since there are 3 Bikini Pro shows this weekend. The majority of them are over in Sasquatch, which we'll talk about in a minute, but that's because they have the Masters divisions as well. They do have a Masters here as well, but you can see there's only 3 people actually. Oh, 2 people, because they put 1 person twice. There's only 2 people actually signed up for the 40 plus in this show. So I am kind of surprised about that, to be honest with you, because I feel like we just had a bunch of people go pro in 40 plus at North Americans. So I thought there would be more people kind of jumping into this show for the 40 plus, but I guess they're not. Maybe they're over in Sasquatch. Maybe they jumped in over there. But regardless, when there's 2 Bikini Masters Pro shows, I expect to see more than 2 competitors on the list. So I don't know. So looking at this particular show, it initially wasn't like when they first came out with the list, there wasn't a whole lot of people on it. And then more people jumped on, which I knew was going to happen. So, that's why I didn't want to say anything until we actually got the pro list out to today, because that typically happens, when it's a relatively small show. Guys, this is why you can't try to plan your shows based on who might show up and who might not, because what happens is those lists come out on Monday or Tuesday. It came out on Tuesday this week because of the holiday. Everybody's like, oh, there's nobody in this. I'm going to go jump into this show. Well, now all of a sudden we have a bunch of people in this show who have been very close to winning their Olympia qualification. So, or they are qualified, one of the 2. So now it's not so easy of a show anymore, right? So just looking at the list right now, we've got Maria Acosta right here at the top. She has been getting top call outs. She's towards the bottom of the top call out, that 5th, 6th place, that kind of thing. But she's one that I mentioned last time that she did when she did, what was it? The last one is just the one in South Carolina or whatever it was, that she was a threat. And she's one that I think is going to, when she gets into that top spot, it's going to be hard to get her out of it. So this is her right here. So this is Maria Acosta right here. And this is very similar. Like what I'm saying about her is actually very similar to what I said about Ivana Eskandar, who is also competing in this show this weekend. Ivana was the same way. Ivana was top call out every show that she was in, but she was somewhere between 3rd and 5th in every show that she was in until she started winning, and then she won 5 in a row. So I believe that's going to be the same kind of scenario here with Maria. I think once she nails it and she hits a show and she wins it, I think at that point she's going to start winning more, right? She's got a really good, really complete package. So I don't know what her feedback was at this particular show. The lighting was very bad and I wasn't able to really critique people much. But she did end up in that first call out. So I would expect to see her up there again and potentially even in the winner's circle. This could be her day. You just never know. So we've got her. Next up on the list, I'm going to bring up Yulia. So Yulia is competing again, one of our sponsored athletes. And let me pull her pictures up. And Yulia's on a grind right now, meaning that every show that she's going into, she's getting a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. And that's what you want to do, especially as a relatively new pro. You know, this is still technically her first season as a pro because she just went pro at North Americans last year. So she is getting better each time she gets on stage. She's getting a little bit of a higher placing each time that she gets on stage. And her physique is getting a little bit better as well. She got a little bit of feedback at this show. So for this particular show coming in, we are doing something a little bit different. So you'll see it when she gets on stage this weekend. You'll see what changes we made in the last 2 weeks. But yes, I expect to see her do again just a little bit better, a little bit better. I see her as being one of these ones that's going to crawl up and crawl up and crawl up and get up into those top call outs. So I could definitely see her in the top call out here. So that is Yulia. We're going to go to Ivana next. So Ivana is next on our list here. So as we were just talking about with Ivana, she is one that has won several shows this year. Her last showing was in the Excalibur, and it was not her best placing. Again, I can't critique much about her look because of the lighting. But she is one that I just mentioned that she was kind of grinding in that top call out for a while. And then when she got up and over that edge, now she wins a ton of shows, right? And you expect her to come in and be in that top 2 spot. Now at this particular show, she ended up 4th, which is low for her recently. However, all last year, this is where she was placing. So, you know, the chips just have to kind of fall right for her. And then she ends up in that winner's circle again. And again, I don't know what her feedback was at this show, and I don't know what she's changed going into the next one. But I wouldn't count her out. I do remember one of the things I critiqued her on at our wrap up was these fingernails right here. Get rid of these bright ass fingernails. Like, that's all I can see in the whole photo is the blue nails. So don't do that, guys. Make sure that your nails are not the thing that sticks out. Make sure your nails are not the thing that sticks out, right? She's got it on her toes too, but her nails are her fingernails are more prominent. So you want to make sure that it's more neutral color, so it's not the first thing that I see when I pull up your pictures, right? So there's my 2 cents on this particular package. So, but she is one that you could definitely see up in that winner's circle at this show. Let's see. Next up, I'm gonna pull up. So Brittany Hamilton. Brittany got herself a first call out for the first time in the Excalibur show too. So a lot of these girls, like I said, have just now started to come out. Now they're gonna start hitting these shows, these fall shows and things like that coming up. So again, can't critique much on her actual physique because of the lighting, but this was a first call out for her. I think she ended up 7th. So because I do remember after prejudging, when they came back for finals, she was in 2nd call out at that point because she was near Yulia, because Yulia got the opportunity to kind of pose her way up and posing and placings a little bit. So I can't give much insight into this girl's look at all because of the lighting and everything like that. But if she just came off of a first call out, then she's definitely one that you're going to want to watch out for going into this show as well. So let's go to... Did I see anybody else in the show? Hang on. Did I miss somebody? Oh, yeah, Jody. So Jody Junker. Obviously, she's been doing it. She's been competing a lot, right? Been very, very close several times. So she is definitely one to be watching at this particular show. Again, she's gotten second places over and over. She is the leader right now on points for point earners that qualify for the Olympia. So at this point, I would say she's probably going to qualify for the Olympia anyway. But, you know, obviously every girl wants to go into the Olympia on a win and not on points. So I know that's what she's going after right now. So, and she would be the front runner going into the show, seeing as she has come in second so many times. She's been in top call out all year. And it's just a matter. Sorry, my battery's low. My battery's low on my phone. I don't know how, because I got it plugged in. Y'all are using up all my juice on Instagram. But anyway, so I would say she's your front runner for this particular show. If I had to place people, I would put Jody in first, Ivana in second, Maria in third, and then it's kind of open from that point on. So, be looking out for the couple of girls that I mentioned with Brittany and Yulia, that kind of thing. But I would put Jody in first at this show. Because she did just beat Ivana as well, and that's why. But I do think it's going to be tight between the two of them, and I do think it could go either way. Now, Ivana is already qualified for the Olympia, and technically Jody is, but it's on points right now. She's got like 27 points. Nobody's even close to touching her when it comes to points for Olympia, so she is going to qualify. But again, I know she just wants to do that on a win versus on points. So that would be nice to be able to knock that out so that she can take some time off to the Olympia, right? So that would be my 2 cents for this show. All right, let's go to Sasquatch. All right, so here's Sasquatch. Sasquatch is our big show of the weekend. So you can see here, and they do have a 40 plus and 45 and 50. So, remember this as well, because just because we've got a big open class, some of these women are going to be crossing over into masters as well. So they have the 40, 45, and 50 for masters too. So I'm sure some of these women coming into the masters division here probably just won their pro cards, things like that. They're jumping into a pro show right away. I do recognize some of the names on this list as well. So, it's just a matter of, who shows up best that day for these women. I'm interested to see if we got some new pros that jump on stage. Let's go to the open class. And like I said, some of these ladies are doing both open and masters. So that's why this open class looks so big. But it's still a very competitive show here, right? There's a lot of names on this list I don't know. Now you can see there's some people coming from Brazil, Canada, Italy. We're getting some others coming in again. Like that's something we're going to see a lot more of now that the COVID situation has been cleared up. We're going to see people coming in from other countries. We've got Canada, we've got United Kingdom, all those kinds of things. So, looking at the list right away, we do have ladies on this list that are already qualified for the Olympia. And I would expect one of them is going to win this as well, is basically what I would expect. So obviously at the top of that list, we have Alessia Fashin. So Alessia is right here. Alessia just placed there. Oh, I might have gotten her and Ivana's placings mixed up at the last show, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Shoot, I thought I had her pictures up too. Hang on. I'll get her. I'll get it. Hang on. Give me a second. You know what? Actually, I can do this. Yeah, I did actually. Ivana placed third at the Excalibur, and Alessia placed fourth. So I did mix that up. So Alessia is your fourth place earner at Excalibur. So, Alessia is always one you're going to have to watch. She's always in first call out, tends to be in the top 4, most of the time the top 2. So she's one you're going to have to watch. This was her first show back here in a while. She's one that competes a lot. And I know she was off stage for a bit to do some improvements, things like that. So she came back and she placed 4th. So I'm sure coming into this show, she's wanting to improve that placing, right? Again, can't critique much about her look here because of the lighting at this show, but I expect to see her come back with some improvements at this next show too. Next on the list, I have them up here at the top here. So I'm going to click right over is Daraja. So Daraja is qualified. She just won Battle of Texas. I'm sorry, Texas Pro, not Battle of Texas. I get them all mixed up. So she just won Texas, and this was definitely an improved look for her. Versus what she had in Tampa. Her Tampa look was a little off with her conditioning, a little off with her look as far as the pink suit and things like that. So she went back to her teal suit. Conditioning was a little bit tighter. I think she can still stand to be tighter in her conditioning here. But this was enough for her to actually get this win. And this is something we talked about as far as chasing criteria. So I do think she's very, very close to the criteria. I just think she can stand to come in just a touch tighter still. If she comes in a little bit tighter, it's going to be very, very difficult to beat her. As long as her confidence is on 100% too, because that's something else that I noticed being in person in Tampa. I mean, she obviously knew in Tampa she wasn't there. She wasn't at 100%, and you could see it in her body language. When her energy is on, when her stage presence is on, and you know she's feeling it, she is very hard to beat. She just has that wow factor when she's on stage. So I'm curious to see what she looks like this week. I do think it's smart that she's getting on stage again, even though she qualified for the Olympia, because I do think she had some improvements to make kind of that nail in the coffin kind of thing for her look before she gets to the Olympia. I don't know how many shows she's planning on doing after this, but I do think doing this show is a smart move on her part. I can very easily see her winning this show because her competition really for that first place spot is going to be Ashley Kalwasser. So Ashley is another one that's been off stage for just a little bit. Ashley's one that does not take a whole lot of time off, right? But she did take a little bit of time off, like a couple months, whenever this Patriots Challenge was. I think that was in June. So she's been off stage for a little bit, gave her body a rest. And typically for Ashley, that kind of amount of time is enough, and that's all she needs in order to come back looking better. So I think that was smart on her part, staying off stage. I know she's also planning on doing the UK Arnold, which is in a week or two, something like that. So I know she's using the Sasquatch show as kind of a warm up. Obviously, she's always going to be one that you have to look out for as far as winning a show. The most winningest pro in the entire history of the IFBB. So with that, Deraja has beaten her in the past. So it's not undoable. It's not like she can't do that. So, you know, if Ashley isn't at 100% and Deraja is, Deraja can jump her, and vice versa. You can go the opposite way too. So I do think that this show is going to come down to the two of them. And then outside of that third place position with Alessia, it's really kind of wide open. It's really kind of wide open. We don't have any names on this list that are real prominent competitors. You know, we've got a few people that have had some first call outs, things like that. Like I know Hope Harper recently had a first call out. I don't really see anybody on this list that's a big threat. But that said, there's people on this list I don't know. So they could come out and just completely wow us. And you could imagine this is what Deraja did after winning North Americans. She came out and she beat Ashley Kaltwasser. So as soon as she did that, all of a sudden she got talked about, right? So that could very well happen here. Maybe somebody comes off of winning at North Americans and comes out and just kills it. You know, that's always a thing. But if I was a betting woman, I would say it's going to come down to Deraja or Ashley. And I won't give an actual first place position on either of these girls because they're both Olympia qualified. And they're both first call out Olympia athletes. So it's going to be whoever comes in at their best is basically it. Well, Duarte, I think she's doing that show. Is she? Her name's not on the list. If she is, then yes, she could definitely be a top 4, but she's not on the list right now. Doesn't mean she's not doing it. Sometimes the list isn't complete. But she definitely isn't on here right now. So, yeah. And that's a thing too sometimes, guys. Sometimes these lists aren't completely accurate, or people jump in at the very last minute. I believe the IFBB office will let you put your contract in up until Wednesday. So if somebody put their contract in yesterday, then they're probably not updated on the list right now, right? So, you know, it could be if Malu is on here, she's definitely a top 4 contender for sure, 100%. But yeah, any one of these girls could be somebody to just kind of take it by storm. Like I said, it happens all the time. Every year there's somebody that comes out and just shocks everyone, right? And these fall shows do tend to get very, very competitive because girls start coming back and warming up for Olympia time. So girls that have been off stage for a little while are going to start coming back, start getting the kinks worked out, working out different things that they need to work out before the Olympia happens in December. And you're going to see new pros hitting the stage. You're going to see new pros hitting the stage. I looked at the qualified list right now, and I think there's count point earners that are going to qualify. I think that there's 47 bikini competitors qualified this year. And I don't even know how many pro shows we have left, but we have 3 bikini pro shows, even just this weekend. So that means that there's going to be likely over 50 competitors actually qualified for the Olympia this year. That's freaking crazy. They're going to have to start doing something in order to eliminate people because it's going to take forever. Like just individual routines right now at the Olympia for bikini, you're talking about an hour and a half of individual routines. An hour and a half of individual routines right now. You guys, this is going to be the longest Olympia ever. This is going to be the longest Olympia ever. Oh my goodness. And more power to everyone that is qualifying. I think that's fantastic. I think it's great, but I do think that they need to put some measures in place at the Olympia so that we're not, these competitors aren't there for 3 hours for prejudging, right? And that's for one class. That's one class, you guys. One class. I hope I can bring snacks. I know, right? For real. Like, for real, that's a whole new meal timing kind of situation, right? Can you imagine being backstage for an hour and a half while everybody's doing their individual routines and then having to go on stage for comparisons and call-outs? Your body could be completely different in an hour and a half, depending on what you eat or don't eat. You know what I mean? Like you could look completely different going on stage for your individual versus going on stage for your comparisons and call-outs. That's crazy. It's going to be like 9 call. I know, right? It literally is. It's going to be friggin' huge. You'd be like, I was 3rd call out at the Olympia, and you're still like the middle of the pack. And you're still the middle of the pack at 3rd call out. That's friggin' crazy, man. It's going to be huge. It's going to be so huge. So I know that they can't really do much about it this year because, the rules are already set and things like that. But hopefully they're sitting back and game planning what they're going to do for next year because this is just going to get bigger because there's just going to be more pro shows and there's just going to be more pros. So I'm sure, I promise you, we will come out. They will come out with some sort of qualification rule change or something like that for next year. I promise it's going to happen. So, anyway, it's going to be fun times. So, anyways, stacked, right? Stacked. It is quite literally stacked. They're going to be stacked on top of each other in order to fit everybody on the stage. It's going to be crazy. Oh, you think that these pro shows are big with 30, 40 competitors. The freaking Olympia is going to have 50. And I think that men's physique is the same way. Men's physique is just as many competitors. It's crazy. Do away with points. Well, the points don't really do a whole lot. I think that they could do that. I do, but I think it also keeps people competing. So I don't think to get rid of the points completely. Because it's only 3 people. It's only 3 people that qualify on points. That's not a lot, But I do think that they should do something like I don't know, preliminaries or something like that, where I don't know. It's just, for me, I'm looking at that, or time limits on individuals. Like you've got 30 seconds for an individual, like they do for, a little bit more than a NPC routine. Maybe that, if they do that kind of thing where you can't do a top of the tee and walk down, or no walking to the back, they cut something like that out. That would cut down on a lot of time, because they do that at a lot of shows now. A lot of the pro shows, the big ones like Tampa, they make you go straight to the box. You don't go up to the top and come down. You go straight to the box. And, personally, I think that's better for the competitors anyway. That's better for them to not screw anything up. So, I think that something along that line would help. Just little things. And that's something they may implement this year. Time limits on the actual routines. So it's gonna be a long Olympia, y'all. It's gonna be a long Olympia. I'll be sitting there like, all right, I need to go like I'm gonna get notifications on my Apple Watch. I need to stand up, those kinds of things. So anyway, this will be a good weekend. I even look on who has live feeds and who doesn't. Anybody know off the top of your head? I'll pull up these websites real quick and see if they do. I would assume that the Linda Murray does, because they typically do have live streams. I I agree. It's why I just walk immediately to the box. Yeah, walk immediately to the box. Absolutely. I feel bad for those judges. I know, for real. The judges have to sit through all of that. For real. Northernclassic.net. Let's see. Northernclassic.net. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Linda Murray does. Yeah, I assumed the Linda Murray would have it because it's a Wings of Strength show, and they always do. Sasquatch does have a live stream as well. Yep. OptimumFitness.com. Looking at the show details. Looking for Heart of Texas, see if they have a live stream. It looks like the Heart of Texas does not have a live stream. I don't see it here. They got the schedule and all that stuff. The rest of them do, though. So, yep. Heart of Texas is the only one that does not have a live stream unless it's here under tickets. Let me see. No. Nope. No live stream for Heart of Texas, but there is a live stream for Sasquatch and for the London Murray. Maybe, let me see if there's one for Yamamoto. I think there probably is one for Italy, too. Yamamoto Pro Cup. Ooh, that's a long address. Oh, geez. Ugh. Yamamoto Pro Cup. It's a long freaking address, and I can't remember it, and I don't have it like hyperlinked. Ugh. Italy. Oh no, IFBB Pro. Italy.com. Let's see if that works. That's a long freaking web address. Oh, didn't work. I typed it all in right. Dang it. Oh well. I tried. Yeah, it's not there. So anyway, it would be nice if I could just click through, but they don't have it hyperlinked. They have it written out. I'm trying to type out the actual web address and it's not working. So I don't know about the Yamamoto one, but anyway, it's gonna be fun times. It's gonna be fun times, right? Any questions? Anybody have any of their own predictions? Who do they think that's going to win each show? Like I said, I think it's going to come down to Deraja and Ashley at Sasquatch. I think it's going to come down to Karen, Frida, and Amanda in Texas. And in Savannah, I'm going to break it down to Jody. Ivana will probably be in second, but I'm going to say they're going to be your top two. Yeah, that's my thoughts. And I don't know about the Yamamoto one. I would say just for shits and giggles, we'll put Francesca Stocchio in that top spot. How's that? How's that sound? Since she's from Italy, so that's her home country. I think that'd be a good thing to do. So with that, like I've always said, if you'd like to work with me, SusanPosing.com is where you have to go. And Cuties Conquering the Stage tickets are available for purchase now. They are in the link in my bio. On Instagram, and they're in the description box link here on YouTube too. So you can find those tickets right there. Ivana 1, Maria 2, Jody 3. Oh, you're flipping it up. Yeah, I don't see Maria jumping over Jody. I think Jody will definitely be at least second, if not first. And I'm putting Jody in first because she did just beat Ivana at the Excalibur. So that's why I have her there. So That's my 2 cents. I do think Maria will be in the top 4, probably third. Probably third. I do think so. Yep. All right, guys. Well, that's it for tonight. I will not be on live tomorrow. We'll be back on Tuesday. We do have a Sundays with Sean coming up this coming weekend. What's up, Holly? Right? It's this weekend, right? I'm losing track of all my days. So let me check real quick before I say that, and then I'm wrong. Let's see. Yeah, we do. We have a Sundays with Sean this weekend. I thought so. So we have a group posing class this Sunday. So for those of you ladies that want to come, that are competing this month, a ton of cuties doing the Ben Weeder. So if you are doing that, it would probably be a good idea to get into some group classes because this show is going to be friggin' huge. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. So just so you know, the Ben Weeder weekend is going to be a long one. It's going to be a long one. So it'll be fun. I'm excited. It was great last year too. I can't wait. It's a great production team, all of that. So they're actually the same production team that does Cuties Conquering the Stage. See how that works? See how that works? Best production team around. So that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. Hope you guys had a great day today. You saw my stories on my personal Instagram. I had a run in at Planet Fitness. So that was my day today. And on that note, I will be back on Tuesday, but of course I'll be posting on Instagram all weekend and everything too. I'm going to be introducing all of our speakers for Cuties Conquer the Stage, introducing sponsors as we go along. So just hang on for the ride. Just hang on for the ride. All right. I'm going to X out of YouTube first.